I need to tell you about the moment I understood that it had truly ended. Not the moment she left, not the moment of the last conversation, or the last time the door closed, or when the space she'd made in my life stood empty. Those moments were painful, but they weren't the real moment. The moment I'm talking about came before all of that. It arrived quietly, without warning, in the middle of some completely ordinary moment, in a room where nothing important was supposed to happen, and instead something happened that was entirely irreversible. I looked at her the way I'd looked at her thousands of times before, in thousands of different rooms, during thousands of different conversations, and something was wrong. Not in her face, not in anything visible. Something was wrong in that peculiar invisible space between us, in the quality traveling between my eyes and hers, in the particular way she was looking back at me. Or rather, and this is the thing I keep returning to, keep turning over in my mind, something was missing. Something that had always been there so constantly and so completely that I'd stopped recognizing it as a separate thing at all. I had simply taken it as the permanent condition of being in a room with her, her attention, her warmth, that particular quality she had of being present with you in a way that made you feel truly seen, not just looked at. It was gone. She was looking at me and I was looking at her, and that thing wasn't there. And I understood in that moment with a clarity that was almost physical, the kind of clarity that doesn't arrive in the mind but in the chest, in the body. Before the mind catches up, I understood that she had crossed some line. I hadn't even noticed her approaching. That quietly over time, through all those small accumulated moments when I wasn't fully present for her, when I was asking more of her than I was giving back, when I was taking the presence she gave me without always answering it with my own, she had arrived somewhere. She had reached the other side of feeling, and the other side of feeling, which I understood in that moment, is not anger and not grief and not anything that still holds a person inside itself. That still means they're fighting for something within the relationship. The other side of feeling is nothing at all, and nothing is the ending. You can work with anger. You can work with pain. You can even find your way back from distance, from silence, even from a kind of unfaithfulness. But you cannot work with nothing. Nothing means that person has completed a journey inside themselves that you weren't part of. One that happened privately during all those moments when you weren't giving the attention you should have given, and she has now reached the place where, looking at you, what she feels is simply the absence of what used to be there. That's where she was. I could see it in the way she looked at me, or in the way she didn't look at me, in the way her eyes rested on me without settling anywhere, without that particular weight they used to carry when they met mine. I loved that weight. I never told her I loved it. I never told her what that particular way she looked at me meant to me, how it felt as if someone had truly found me, truly reached me, truly considered me worthy of the full attention of someone who could have given her attention to anything else but chose to give it to me. I never said this. And now I was standing in that room where her eyes were on me and none of that was in them anymore. The thing I could never put into words but had always relied on, without ever acknowledging that reliance. And even then I said nothing. We stayed together in that room a while longer after that moment. We kept talking, I think, about ordinary things. The kind of talk you make when the real conversation isn't happening, because neither person has found a way to reach it, or because both already know there's no point in trying anymore. I watched her move around the room. I watched her exist in that same space with me, and I kept feeling it continuously, that absence, that place where something used to happen, the specific shape of the thing that was no longer there. And I thought about all the times I'd been in that room with her, not knowing how valuable the thing present in it was. I didn't know because it was always there, and the things that are always there are the easiest to stop seeing. She eventually left that room, and with her went the thing that been present in every room we'd ever shared together, which I have never found again since. Thank you. Subscribe now.